10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome, everyone. Competition Plus Power Hour. It's live. The guy over there next to me is Slammin' Sam.
Cheer. You are you're Lee. Oh, you go by the Monday Morning Racer. That's right.
That's right.
Monday Morning Racer. Lee, what's up, man? It's Tuesday. Happy 4th. I didn't talk to you. I did talk to you on the 4th. I sent you a text. But happy 4th, man. Happy 4th to everybody that's out there.
Everybody.
First.
Happy Independence Day. Caw! Shout of the Eagle. Yes.
Hey. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you had. Did you have hot dogs? Did you eat 26 hot dogs? Did you chug a gallon of lemonade or whatever else, that everyone does on this holiday? We know Lyle Barnett probably drank a few Yingling beers. Shout out to him. Yeah, man. It's about time to go to the Western Swing. How do you feel about that, Lee? Like, we're already at that point in the season.
How quickly it has progressed. The Western Swing definitely is one of those great times in NHRA drag racing. And we have got, I think, the perfect person or several persons in which to talk about that, because tonight we're going to have on the show Josh Hart and Camry Caruso. So a little Top Fuel representation, a little Pro Stock representation right here on the Competition Plus Power Hour. And Sam, a little different. I know it's going to shock the viewers. Y'all hold on, buckle up, but we're going to bring on one of those guests right after this next break. All of this brought to you by Weldon Pumps. Who's that first guest there, Sam?
That first guest is a guy that doesn't like the camera when you ask him a question about what noise does his favorite animal make. You can go to my Instagram reel, and on YouTube I have it where he just goes rawr. This guy is a guy who I hope he got his shop all figured out after this accident. Like, guy's got the cleanest suit in NHRA. I can honestly say that white one's fire. Not as good looking as my hat, but it's very close. But nah, this man is a great ambassador for our sport. The R&L Carriers driver, that is Mr. Josh Hart. Can't wait to talk to him, and then we will speak with Camry Caruso after that. But yes, Lee, like you were saying, get to that break. Let's bring Josh on, and let's start this show, man. We don't even need to yak it up right now. Let's get to the guest.
Josh Hart. Well, man, thank you for not being a stranger to the Competition Plus Power Hour. And I know there's a lot that we can talk about. Going to the Western Swing, great outing at Norwalk, the struggles of 2022. But I am most concerned about knowing, is the black fire suit holding up better than the white one for you?
Absolutely. Can you tell me how to make this thing so I can hear you?
Oh, boy. You cannot hear us.
I can hear you, but it's very, very soft.
Are you on your phone?
Yes.
All right. Turn the volume up on your phone like you would do for a phone call.
Done. As high as it'll go, but it ain't.
That's as high as it'll go?
Yep.
You might have to drop out and come back in.
Yes, try that. We'll drop you out, come right back in for us, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Technical difficulties. It happens from time to time.
It's a part of doing live, man.
Part of doing live. Yes.
All right, so I guess now we have to yak it up, Lee. We have to yak it up.
We have to. We're ready to go, ready to dive into the interviews and technical difficulties. And by the way, folks, we had him on, right before the show, and everything did seem fine. We got Josh back. Let's see. What about now, Josh?
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
It's the gold shades, Lee. It's the gold. Every time you wear the gold shades, this happens. Every time.
Every time you wear a PDRA hat, this stuff happens because you don't hardly ever
I've
wear it.
got one.
Oh,
I've never worn this hat on this show.
Okay. Black fire suit, holding up better?
Absolutely love it. It's a third of the weight and
oh, really?
Very breathable. Yes, sir.
Is it the same
Different
brand,
companies?
or did you happen to switch brands?
Yeah, I switched brands. I had kind of a not so good experience with a gentleman from Simpsons, so I went all stand 21. Very, very happy about it.
All right. Very cool.
Oh, okay. So since we're talking fire suits, I mean, there's a lot of companies out there. So I don't want to speak negatively about one, but are they using a different material? I mean, same layer, same SFI, obviously. So what makes this suit more superior than the other than it actually being lighter?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it truly feels like pajamas. My Simpson suit was extremely tight and like stiff. This one is truly like pajamas, and customer service over there has been absolutely phenomenal.
You can't go wrong with driving in pajamas and great customer service. There you go.
I know. I mean, like I do, I sell a lot of race car, different companies with fire suits and different things like that. And I know one of the companies I deal with right now, Velocita, they just came out with it honestly looks like a denim or like a Levi jean, a black jean, fire suit pant. Like the most, I hear the kids. Tell them we said hi. Don't show them Lee's face. They might run away. But
they honestly might. I had kids, get scared when I walk in.
But do you think it, is an advantage of being comfortable? I mean, we might as well talk about that, being in the car and, and everything like that. Do you think it's an advantage being in a suit that you're 100% comfortable in, where you're not feeling like you're, bogged down or, weighed down?
Absolutely. Yeah. When you sit in that seat and you feel relaxed from the start, the way that your belts sit, the way that the seat was poured, the all around experience, you need to really calm down and be in the zone. And this has definitely allowed that opportunity for sure.
All right, Josh, let's start with some positives, and then we'll work towards the struggles. Norwalk, Ohio, final round appearance, much needed for your R&L Carriers, Josh Hart, Top Fuel Racing Team. Walk us through qualifying, going into race day. Was there a sense that some things, the tumblers as they were, all came together to unlock the combination and go to the final round?
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'm okay talking about the negative. We had a lot of ups and downs, and believe it or not, I feel like all good management starts at the top. And the owner of R&L Carriers called me and he said, "You know what? You're forgetting one thing." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "You don't look like you're having very much fun." He said, "You just need to go out there and have some fun." And that's exactly what we did. We went out there and I drove, Ron tuned. The team was awesome. They gave me a great car, and it just kind of came together. So if that's the tumblers falling into place, I'd say you're exactly right.
And that's exactly what it takes, right? Is going through those struggles and understanding and having, like you said, a marketing partner that's saying, "Hey, man, you're not having fun. That's why we joined with you." So, looking back, what would you say you may have looking at and, saying, "Oh, I got to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this," instead of focusing on, the fun aspect of racing?
I could go on and on about this, but I'm very recluse. So, I go to bed early, I get up early, I do my job, focus on racing. Ron's the same way. We don't associate with a whole lot of people. We focus. And I think we were just over examining everything and missing some basic fundamentals. My driving started to get worse. We made some very crucial mechanical errors. I can't say it enough. So you just kind of have to breathe a little bit and relax and realize that you didn't do this to start off perfect. And I think that's where we were headed, and it was definitely going the opposite direction.
So possibly thinking too much about it instead of just letting it happen to some degree on a weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was trying new things in the staging lights, shallow stage, flicker the bulb, all this kind of stuff, and it cost me dearly. I mean, you'll see it in my reaction times, but if I go out there and I just have fun, I'm an 030 all day long, so that was one thing. And then, mechanical oversight at the beginning of the season. We had a whole bunch of new stuff, and, I'd never had a dragster that I didn't like. And I'm like, oh, the car, the car, the car. And I should have been saying the driver, the driver, the driver. I needed to adapt to the car, not the other way around. And it just kind of all came together. We've got great equipment, we've got great partners, and we've got an amazing team. And it all showed at Norwalk, thank goodness.
So, Sam, I know he mentions that he's a recluse, but he does a great job with fan interaction at NHRA drag races. And oftentimes you can see Josh before the race even starts. Sometimes when you don't see drivers, he's there at the rope, he's in his fire suit, he's talking to folks, taking pictures, kissing babies, all that good stuff. He does a good job of it. So keep up the good work on that end too, Josh.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the notification. I mean, without those guys, we wouldn't be there. So I really, really am grateful for all the fans, and that won't change no matter how much steam we get behind our sails.
I think this is a perfect time to bring this in. If you're talking fans, Lauren, of all the pro drivers you have lined up against, who have you wanted to win against the most in your current NHRA Top Fuel dragster career?
I don't think that I have beat Steve Torrance except for one time at my very first race in Gainesville. And I would love the chance to line up and beat him in a really good race.
Hey, always taking the champ out always feels good. And, with you mentioning Steve, all right, we on this show have routinely stated Steve is not having a bad year. He's sitting third in points. Yes, there might not be a win, but they are having a very consistent year. Is there still a sense amongst the drivers that Steve Torrance still has that bullseye on his back as the defending champ, even though he's sitting third in points, to, well, beat him every opportunity you get?
Yeah, but, I wouldn't single out Steve. I'd say everyone. I mean, look at the competition out there. It's absolutely off the charts this year. So you go up there against any person, it's real easy for their names to kind of overwhelm your thought process. So you just need to go up there and run your own race and put them all on the trailer,
Yeah, I like that. Put them all on there.
Okay, since we're talking this, a lot of people are giving Steve crap because he showed some raw emotion. He posted how he felt, on his platform, on his Facebook, social media. And then it comes right out after that he is nominated for an ESPY. And the comment section of the keyboard warriors in Facebook, world have gone crazy. What do you take of that? Someone showing raw emotion, someone saying exactly how they feel on the top end, and saying, like, look, I'm a human. My team is human. We've all made mistakes. We're going through something right now. How do you take that from being a competitor of his and, looking at his championship his career and looking at what he's done?
I would say that if you don't have raw emotion involved in this sport, you shouldn't be in the sport. And until you've been in somebody's shoes, you need to back off. I mean, we go 330 mile an hour, and within a matter of seconds, you got a microphone in your face, and you're standing right next to your opponent at the other end. So anything can happen. And the person that shows raw emotions deserves credit for that. If you don't have it, you're not even a competitor.
And Sam, it's interesting because I think having Josh and you asking that question, Josh, in his own way, displays raw emotion. It may not be animated as John Force or even a Steve, but you're very honest, Josh. I mean, there's been moments like even earlier, you were like, well, this particular company, I'm not sure many drivers would have said that. And I appreciate the honesty, but you do it in your own way and you are giving a glimpse into the sport. You've done it in many other ways as well. Why do you think the way in which you do it should be done and have that honesty before all the fans? I appreciate it. I feel like there needs to be more transparency in the sport, but why are you as honest as you are?
You know, I've been a businessman all my life. I've never worked for anybody else. My wife started our company from nothing. So I learned very early on that as long as you do exactly what you say you're going to do, you'll be fine. You know, you're not going to win everything. You're not going to make everybody happy. And some of the people that I've aligned myself, you know, beat that into my head as I was coming up. So why change now? You know, if the guy from Simpson would have treated me right, he would have had a customer forever. He didn't. And now I'm going with Stand 21. That's just the way it is.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Like, there's honestly, Lee, there's nothing else to say there. And Josh, that's why it was so good. You know, just like I was talking about, you know, and when we were introducing you about the raw, you know, you just being you. When I came up to you that day in North Carolina, I put the camera in your, one of the tracks, I put the camera in your face and I'm like, what sound does your favorite animal make? And you're just like, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, come on, you're like, and I'm like, you know, it's just those moments where it's like, look, I'm me. Whether you like it, you don't like it, like, and you're so cool and so calm about it. And I think that's what, you know, a lot of people they can relate to. It's like, okay, there's, you know, one person that's out there, they're flashy, they're all about it. Then there's another person that just is like, hey, I'm this cool, calm, collective guy, and this is what you're gonna get. Whether it's driver introductions, you know, you're the same person across the board, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm not trying to please everybody. I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm just trying to drive fast amongst the best drivers on the planet. I've got some really great people that I've aligned with, and we're gonna go out and win some races.
Well, speaking of winning races, going into the famed Western Swing, 3 races back to back, thousands of miles, different elevation, different conditions, you name it. It is a part of the Western Swing. Have you tackled anything like this in your racing career? Has there ever been in a string of 3 back to back? I think maybe the closest thing your team has come to this would be the Phoenix test, Pomona, and then back to Phoenix possibly. What are your thoughts going into the swing?
Well, I got kind of some breaking news that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'll get to that. But you know, the answer is no. We've never done it. In the A fuel days, you know, I used to drive the truck, set up, you know, get the car prepped, and then drive all weekend, and drive to the next venue. So I'm used to the carnival life. But my daughter wasn't around at that time, so I'm planning to fly back and forth if, you know, I'm allowed, and we're just going to do the best we can. But with Ron and Dave and Scott, you know, they do a fabulous job, but that's all we got at the shop. You know, they've got everything rocking and rolling, so I can fly in, do my thing, and hopefully get back home to my daughter. And their sacrifices are greatly appreciated every weekend. So I'm excited, and all the other emotions that come with the Western Swing.
All right, breaking news.
Breaking news. It takes a lot of money to do what we're doing, and you know, everybody thought that when I landed a couple of sponsorships, that was it. Well, I'm here to tell you it takes many more people than that. So we were actually able to align ourselves with a gentleman named Chris Armstrong, and he has been an absolute godsend to our team. He is the developer of Armstrong Homes, one of the largest builders in Central Florida. Just merged his company with Lennar Homes, one of the biggest builders in the world. And he's decided to come on with us. He loves drag racing. I've never seen somebody come in and not know anything about it and just be so genuinely excited to be a part of it. Just so inquisitive and so sharp about it. But Truly a blessing to have him. And this is the first time I've mentioned his name. So look him up. Heck of a guy. You'll see him at the races. He hasn't missed one yet. Very blessed to have Chris Armstrong. And without him, I don't think we'd be doing the Western Swing. Even though we originally slated to be full-time this year, things are hard to get. Things are hard to pull off. You can pay for stuff all day long, but with Chris's help, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. We'll be consistent all year round.
Well, that is good news to hear, and congratulations, and great to bring on another partner. And I think that speaks also to, again, I think there's far many more positivities in this sport right now than there are negatives. And bringing in more partners, just like you've done, is a part of that, and that's good news.
Yeah, Chris is genuinely excited. He's talking about, flirting with maybe the possibility of a funny car team. I mean, he's really, really excited. He is drag racing crazy. I'm honored to call him a friend. He actually built Bernie's 2.0 for me. That's how we met. We actually met a little bit earlier than that, but so the partnership is deep, and he's been a great asset to Fearless Racing.
Awesome.
So now, I mean, you're bringing him on, and now there's talks. There's talks of even more. So I mean, like I said, like you said, congratulations. I mean, that's huge news. Always huge news in drag racing culture to hear about a potential another team. I mean, even if it's 3 years, down the road or wherever the situation may be, always hearing information about more people coming to the sport, or someone getting to, advance theirself into another spot. I mean, that's what it's all about, is continuing to grow the sport. So, and hats off to you for, one, having that kind of connection, and two, making that kind of deal to bring, especially someone new into NHRA drag racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys get a chance to meet him. He's ironclad, he's straight up, and he's having a whole lot of fun out there at the drag strip. So,
what was his company again?
So he was one of the founders of Armstrong Homes.
Armstrong Homes, and there was a merger with the larger company. So, people search just Armstrong Homes. Would that be what they search?
Yep, Ocala, Florida. He's right here with me.
Okay.
He built Bernie's 2.0, and probably like 14,000 other houses, literally. One of the biggest developers in our area.
All right. Well, look, Josh, last question for you. I know we got a brief moment of time with you. Kroger Sucks 45. I think it's got a good question here. Has Josh ever driven a funny car with you mentioning it? And would you be interested in that, getting underneath the plastic?
Unfortunately, I really like the long, skinny cars, but not saying I wouldn't do it. My wife might have divorce papers on my desk by the time I got home, but it's definitely interesting.
All right. Well, Josh, look, thank you for your time, man, and whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for coming on the Competition Plus Power Hour.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
All right, Josh Hart. Man, you got to love just honesty.
Dude, he slides. I like how he does that, though. He slides in, cool, calm. Yeah, I got some breaking news. And I'm thinking, man, is he going to say he's not going on the Western Swing? Like, what's going on? So cool, calm, collective. Oh, yeah, by the way. VTW, just to kind of throw this out there. Hey, I got a major sponsor. I just got a major sponsor. I might even think about bringing a funny car. No problem. No biggie. Hey, thanks for having me on. See you guys later. I'm out. Like, what?
Right.
No.
Just like, if you or I had said, well, this particular group, we would have added emphasis. There would have been a tense to it. It would have been said in a certain way. Josh is just like, it's so cool. I don't know. I find it cool. He's definitely collected, and he's honest, and one of the genuine good guys out there in the pits. He mentioned Mr. Armstrong considering a funny car team along with the Top Fuel Dragster. That is not the only individual out there in the drag racing world that is considering a funny car or a Top Fuel car or just a fuel car in general.
I'm just going to say this. I get in trouble when I step out of my lane. That's all. I'm gonna quote it at that, Lee. And if you don't know that quote, you should be scrolling through Facebook right now. Type it into the search bar, whatever you need to do. But the man said it. Hey, I'm known to step out of my lane, and when I step out of my lane, I get in trouble.
Well,
so why not just make it affordable for everyone to do it? Because I'm gonna get in trouble to do it anyway.
What we're referring to, ladies and gentlemen, again, remember this show and the Facebook page and the YouTube page and the Twitter account for Competition Plus is what? CompetitionPlus.com. If you want to read some up-to-date material in drag racing, and I mean that honestly, you do have to pay attention to CompetitionPlus.com, and there is an article with Richard Freeman, owner of Elite Motorsports, and his casual talk about possibly entertaining a fuel car. Didn't specify, but a fuel car operation. And I find it interesting that you and I last week were talking about individuals speaking in the past tense.
I don't have an inside source or anything. I may know a few people that know somebody or is that somebody that said something, but I don't know anything, Lee.
I don't know anything either. I
just believe what I read. I just believe what I read.
I believe what I read, and I know what I hear.
That's all I'm going to say.
On that, though, I think it would be a good move for anyone to step into the fuel ranks. No one is locked into a class. Don Schumacher at one time had pro stock cars and pro stock motorcycles. And it would be fascinating to see John Force Racing have a pro stock car and be involved in some way. I mean, why not?
But at the same time, Lee, do we go back to that situation where everyone's like, oh, DSR is a mega team, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? So now does Elite come in here and maybe the first couple of years they have one car, and then a few years after that they have 2 and 3 cars, and then everyone's saying, oh, they're a mega team just like they are in pro stock. But look what they've done in pro stock. I mean, yes, you can see their cars in the final rounds every weekend wherever you go, but at the same time, we are getting the chance for younger people like Alex Laughlin. We're getting, the Corral family. We're getting all these younger Aaron Stenfield people chances to drive a car that I don't want to say it's a non-expensive way, but it's an easier way to do it compared to the way it was in years. So, I mean, yes, are we taking, are we saying the mega teams are going to disappear or come back? Yes and no. I mean, there's no difference, right? Most of the teams that were DSR teams now are a part of the Toyota family right now. So, I mean, did they really go that far? No. I mean, they're still a part of, the same group. So,
yes, it is fascinating.
It's going to be that argument.
I find it fascinating how in the world of drag racing and the fan talk, when Don Schumacher Racing was fielding several cars, it was routinely mega team, and that's the issue. But right now, I mean, John Force Racing is a mega team. I mean, there's 2 funny cars or 2 top fuel dragsters, and you also have mega teams within the world of the pro stock ranks. It's fascinating that when DSR broke up to some extent, that we don't get the mega team talk like we used to. I think the key with what that article from the interview with Richard Freeman is stating is the key word is affordability. Just to change it to where it's a bit more affordable. Now, when we say affordable, that doesn't mean anybody that's just working a 9-to-5 is going to be running a pro stock car anytime soon. That's not the case.
Hey, don't kill my dreams, bruh. Don't kill my dreams. Don't kill my dreams, okay?
Yeah. But if you work hard enough and you're a successful businessman or woman, the possibility is there. That is what has been opened up.
Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to go about it, Lee. We could talk about it till we turn blue in the face or light blue, whatever color you want to be, purple for all the Vikings fans that are out there. But I mean, it's gonna happen whether we like it or not. I mean, there's gonna be quote unquote mega teams. There's gonna be a group that sticks together that shares information. I mean, it's drag racing for goodness sake.
Yes, and honestly, there's always been some type of mega team situation. I mean, my dad worked for the Ford Pro Stock team back in the day. Even though they were slightly independent, they were all working together. There was a lot of Ford Pro Stockers across the country, from Paul Harvey Ford to Tasca Ford to other Ford entities. And they all had this very similar scheme of blue, white, and gold. And like one was mainly white, the other one was mainly blue, but they were all a team working together. And Chrysler and Chevy, they were all doing that. And then it moved on to where you had individuals that had 2-3 cars, such as Warren Johnson at one time had 3 cars. And you have had Larry Minor and his team and so on. Now, it definitely got to its largest form under Don Schumacher, but what's to say that the pseudo alliances that are there, like mentioning Toyota, I mean, if you go just by that sticker, how many cars are under that banner? It is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, Lee, this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna wrap it covers everything. It covers Steve Torrance and his saying what he said. It covers everything. No matter what happens in drag racing, whether it's good, whether it's bad, there's going to be someone, and I'm going to say it's kind of the way Eric Anders said it. There's going to be someone sitting in their mom's basement on the computer, and they're going to have something negative to say, even if it's the most positive thing. Like, literally, Richard Freeman could call them and say, hey, we want you to come drive for us. And just because they don't like Erica, they would honestly say, and I'm using this as an example, I don't want to do it. This is the worst thing since sliced bread just because of this reason. So no matter what we do, no matter if he gets a team or not, someone's going to complain. I'm not going to say the other word.
Well, if you would like to see clearly at night in your retro ride, you need Holley's Retro Bright. This word, and then we're bringing on Miss Camry Caruso.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen seal beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more.
And Pro Stock is in the house with Miss Camry Caruso. How you doing, young lady?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing very well. Doing very well.
I'm actually in the trailer because we're in Denver testing.
Oh, already up there at Mile High doing some testing. Yeah. So what do you think about that track? You're not a stranger to it. I know you've been there before. I imagine with your dad in the Pro Mod and World Series of Pro Mod and other events. Talk to us about being on the mountain.
I think it's a really pretty track. The weather's a little wacky, but other than that, it's really neat. They do a really good job at keeping it nice and clean, and they continue to improve. So I think that it's a really good track to be at.
There you go. And you guys traveled out early to, beat the rush to get to Denver. So, I mean, how was the trip? And plus, it was the main voyage in the new toter home and trailer, right?
Yep. So we actually came to test for a few days to kind of get the car straightened out because everything's so different up here, and I've never raced up here, and I guess shifting's different up here and everything because of the altitude. But yep, we got a new race rig probably a week ago at this point, and we spent a few days getting it ready, and then this was the first trip it's been on, and it went really well.
So, Camry, I was able to watch Mountain Motor Pro Stock legend John Montecalvo do some transitioning and get behind the wheel of a 500 cubic incher. And as many years as he's had behind the wheel of a Pro Stock car, there was a little bit of struggle the first time. And then he got it, and he was fine. He was good. I'm curious. You were in a mountain motor, you briefly, and then you also were at Pro 632. So what was the transition like?
I've never raced a mountain motor car. I raced my.
You tested though,
car.
right?
No, I've never driven a mountain motor car.
Never did. Okay.
Jim, my crew chief, was actually with Monte Cavo when he tried.
Right. Yep.
But no, I never drove a mountain motor car. I got my mountain motor license and everything, but with my 632 car, I never actually made the transition because we chose to do 500 prior to getting any mountain motor stuff. But it was still pretty similar.
So the reason I asked that question is because there's this idea that what y'all do in Pro Stock is easy. And if someone that many years of experience had just a little bit of transition in a period, it's not. Can you explain how challenging it really is? Because you have driven A Fuel, you've driven Top Dragster. There's a lot you've been behind the wheel.
Jim's actually laughing in the background at that comment. I mean, if anybody wants to say it's easy, then they can come try it themselves because it definitely isn't. There's a lot going on in the car. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that nobody really understands or sees. And I totally underestimated it prior to doing it. It's a full-time job for the crew guys, for the crew chief. Jim honestly works on it 7 days a week. Mike and Steve at the shop, they work on stuff all the time and are always trying to think. But it's just a lot going on. And I'm sure being in the mountain motor car, I know being in my 632 car helped me make the progression. But even, I'm sure if you ask John Montecalvo, it's 100% different. There's no carburetors, and they're just really finicky. So I don't think it's as easy as everybody says it is, but maybe it is.
Is Jim still standing right next to you? Because I want to hear what he is. You said he was laughing. What does he say? Or did he leave?
Jimbo, they want to ask you a question. Come on. He's coming back.
I figured we'd have to kick your dad off the screen before, we brought someone else.
He's not here yet. He's driving here. Here's Jimbo.
Hey.
Okay, Jim. So you were laughing. There you go. It always is beautiful up there. I mean, you got the amphitheater on one side, the highway on the other, and you're smack dab in the middle. But the question was, what's the difference? And people are saying that it's boring in a Pro Stock compared to a mountain motor. What do you think about that?
You said boring?
Those were your words, right, Lee?
Did you say it's boring? A 500 to a big motor?
No. We're talking about people underestimating Pro Stock and the challenges to drive it.
Yeah, the hardest part I was there. I was working with Kenny the other week when we had John Montecalvo drive it, help show him the ropes and tune the car a little bit for him. And the biggest struggle for anybody is the EFI, is doing a burnout with the EFI and getting the throttle. The throttle is very touchy because as soon as you open it, it wants to go open. And then it starts oscillating. It sounds like a blower car. If you start to work the throttle and you don't really have a good feel for it, it starts to go like a blower car. So you have to get acclimated to that. And John, it took him like 3-4 runs to get a feel for it. And he was fine. But he's driven for 25 years probably, mountain motor cars and every kind of car. So he picked it up really quickly. But the biggest problem to transition from a mountain motor car to the 500-incher is just the feeling the EFI and doing the burnout. And then plus we got this wonderful rev limiter that limits us to 10.5, or 10.6, depending on how they work. And if with any other car, if you're supposed to shift at 10.6 and you shift at 10.650, it's not a big deal. Okay, but with these cars, they stop at 10.601. Okay, so you're going along and you're just a couple RPM late on the shift, it stops, and then the car lays down, and then you make the shift and it takes off again and gets all shaky. So, and then if you shift it early, it just nukes the clutch, and the car won't go anywhere. So you've got to be like perfect. And there's hardly any other cars that have to be that exact that accelerate this quickly. And I've driven a big motor cars. I set the national record in NHRA a couple times with a big motor car. Just while I was racing 500-inch over there. And they're fast, but they're more sluggish. Does that make any sense? A 500-inch motor car goes zing, 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 zing through the gears. Okay. A big motor car, it's accelerating and putting you back in the seat, but you have more time to make the changes and feel the car. These, I mean, it's like driving a sewing machine. You know, it's just like zing, 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 and you're there. So you have to be on time.
Well, if anybody would know, it'd be Jim Yates.
I've witnessed it, but both ends. I mean, I've helped Camry get used to it. I mean, she's done a great job driving the car, made great progress, and she makes some beautiful runs. I mean, we've been number 1 qualifier. We were number 2 qualifier. We've been to the final. I mean, and you don't do that in these cars. We went 6:49 at Gainesville. I don't think I've ever been 6:49. Okay.
I'm faster than you.
Yeah. Well, once. Don't say that now. Make me get in the car. No, but she, you don't run that fast unless you're perfect. You have to be perfect. And any driver in Pro Stock, I think, has a lot of respect for Camry because they know how difficult it is. We've seen a lot of new drivers come into this class that have struggled. And it's not because they're not great drivers. It's because it's a hard deal. It's very hard to drive these cars. Getting them from A to B is not as hard as running fast from A to B. Okay, and Camry has proven she can run fast. She can run as fast as anybody out there. Okay, of course she got a really great crew chief and she got a great engine program. That's probably a lot to do with it. But you can have the fastest car in Pro Stock, and if you don't drive it right, it's not going to run good. And that's where I've seen a lot of drivers come. I mean, I helped Grace Howe get her license. I trained her for like 2 months, and we finally, we went to a couple national events, and she ended up doing really well. And then, a couple other people working with them from the beginning, like Shane Gray. When I started working with Shane Gray, he was a rookie, never driven a Pro Stock car. So it's fun to take him like that and to watch him evolve. And Camry's been a real treat.
Well, Jim, thank you for the perspective. That's exactly what I was looking for, because I don't think y'all get enough credit.
I don't think the drivers get enough credit. That's for sure. I mean, it's very, very hard. Like I tell her, I got 2 hours between runs to sit here on the computer and get it all dialed in, and the guy setting the clutch up and doing the whole thing. But I mean, she's got 7 seconds. If she screws up, we're like, "What happened to you? Why'd you do that?"
Yes.
True.
It's a lot easier what I do.
All right, Camry, we got some questions coming in for you. So we're going to ask those. If you could pick any current NHRA Pro Drag Strip to get your first win ever, which one would it be at and why?
If it's noisy, she can move it up here.
Well, I really wanted it to be Norwalk, but that didn't happen. So my next favorite would either be here because it's just a cool track, or probably Charlotte in the fall. I'll go over here. They're going up the car.
Oh, so since the last time, Camry, I think that we've talked, or I've seen you, you come off of Houston with that, great performance you had there, and just your momentum. How do you feel right now? This is your rookie season. How are you feeling, with the way everything is going for you? Looking back from where you started.
Honestly, I think it's going really well. Obviously, we would have loved to get our first win already. I wanted to win the first race out, but sometimes it's just not doable. But I honestly am super lucky and thankful for the team that I have, and they are the reason that I've progressed as fast as I have. They all are very experienced in Pro Stock, and honestly, I have the best team, in my opinion, to be able to win my first season out. So I'm excited and I'm happy with how everything's going. We all have our ups and downs, but honestly, it's been a really good year.
And not only just a good year on the track, because it definitely has been. It's been wonderful to see the performance and the accomplishments that you've already had, halfway into the season. But you've been able to accomplish good things on the marketing side as well. We routinely see new partners added and new people coming on board. So talk to us about crafting relationships and bringing new partners on board and introducing them to the world of NHRA pro stock drag racing?
So honestly, when we first started this all, when you sit down and look at what it actually costs to run pro stock, it's quite crazy. So we had to get creative because the days of somebody just writing you a check for nothing aren't really around anymore. I mean, you get lucky every now and again, but you have to figure out how you can connect businesses to businesses, and that's really what we've done the whole time. We've brought businesses that we've had relationships with to new businesses, and that's how we've gained our marketing partners for the season. And it's really cool to be able to bring new partners in that haven't been in the class before or haven't really been in NHRA that much, to give them more exposure and to bring them more. It's just been really cool to watch. We actually have a new wrap going on, I think the end of the day Thursday, for the West up until Indy. So there'll be another new sponsor for 5 races. So it's a really cool wrap. It'll look good when it's done.
No, and I mean, that's awesome to see. So I have to ask this question, since you're mentioning a new sponsor, and we probably won't know until, later, but will we see an ice cream sponsor or a fry company on your car? Which one would come first? For those that don't know Camry Caruso, you can always find her sneaking French fries or chicken strips or whatever it may be wherever she goes out. So which company do you think you can get? An ice cream company or a French fry company?
Honestly, I don't know, but I would really like Ben & Jerry's and McDonald's because I love McDonald's chicken nuggets so much. I eat them all the time, and I don't know, but it is not either one of those companies. So if anybody knows how to get in contact with those people, let me know.
Well, I mean, Jim,
I think I know how we do it.
I mean,
Lee, I know how we do it. Camry, I know how we do it. Next time us 3 are at a track together, we do a chicken nugget competition. We go and get, like, I don't know. How many do you think you can eat at one time, Camry?
I can only eat like 4 to 6 at a time.
Come on.
I don't like to get overly stuffed because then I have a tummy ache.
So you got to do it on like Wednesday or like Tuesday. We can do a live show.
That.
Why? It'd be awesome.
Because it makes me feel sick afterwards. So I got to pace myself.
Oh
but
my.
Jim, I mean, how many chicken nuggets do you think you can eat in one sitting?
How many what?
Chicken nuggets. You. Okay, well, pick a number.
At Roy Rogers, I go to Chick-fil-A, I get the little nuggets, I get a 12-pack.
He says he can eat 12 at a time.
I get 4 of the chicken.
We got to go 20 or more, because I know I can slam 20.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I get 2 10 pieces, and I slam those with a sweet tea and a fry.
I just
Come on, Camry.
I ate like 4 Asker Head. They're not the same people that are in charge anymore. We've already kind of
see, they've already went that avenue.
Yes. There's just not the same people who were with Jim there anymore. Like, they don't know who. So we're trying, but I don't know that anything will come of it.
So look, with that small amount of nugget consumption, maybe the nugget eating contest isn't the way. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe
my dad could probably eat a bunch.
Maybe eating while shifting and on No, I'm sorry.
No. Dude, that's gonna put too much grease on her new nails. Come on. Didn't you see those?
I broke my new nails. We're doing transmissions today. I was actually really upset about it, but Jim came in clutch with a nail file for me, so we're all good now.
But they'll be done before the race, right?
I was gonna use these for the race, but I guess I'm gonna have to get new nails now, so it's okay. I have an idea.
Inform us.
Oh, well, I was just going to do tie-dye because last in Houston, I wore tie-dye socks and I did good. So I'm thinking if I do tie-dye nails, then I'll do good again.
Okay, I like it. Now we're getting somewhere. Superstitions. Are you one that believes in it? Because, like, I know me. for hockey, like I have to do things a certain way. When I pack my bag to go on the road, I have to do it a certain way or I forget my chargers. Like it just happens. So is Camry Caruso one of superstition?
I can be sometimes. Like in Houston, I was a psycho about it, just going around. I ate 2 clementines and 2 bottles of water every round. But like, I stopped eating carbs in between rounds on race day because Jim suggested it. Except peanut butter. I'm allowed to eat peanut butter. And then,
it's a good choice though.
Protein.
Yeah, protein only, no carbs.
Yeah, carbs make you tired later in the day.
Well, I really like French fries, so it poses a problem.
Yes.
Okay. Homemade French fries, curly fries, or like the little I call them like the what is that thing called? I don't know, like the spongy French fry. Like what kind of French fries does Camry like? Because maybe there's somebody out there like if Camry does it, I got to do it.
I don't like curly fries. They just
what is wrong with you?
But I do
that is
like
un-American.
Fry. That's fine. Maybe I'm not American.
So what did you say that you like? What fry?
I really like all fries except curly.
Okay, all fries except curly. Okay.
I just don't like the curly fries.
Okay.
They're just weird.
So you mentioned the McDonald's chicken McNugget.
It's cold in here.
Do they have the best fries, or is it another fast food in place that has the best fries?
Honestly, the best fries I've ever had are from a restaurant back in New York called Jeremiah's. I could eat those daily, but McDonald's does the trick.
Okay.
There you guys go. If you want to make Camry Caruso happy, French fries. I mean, I think we've come to the chicken nugget, a 4-piece chicken. Get her the kids meal, 4-piece chicken nugget.
If you're gonna bring me chicken nuggets, they need to be cooked twice.
I'm done. What are you supposed to? Okay, Camry, walk us. This has gone way too far here, but walk us through an order. Do you say you got to deep fry them twice?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I literally say I would like a 6-piece McNugget meal with a medium fry and a bottle of water, but you need to cook the chicken nuggets twice, and I need 3 honeys.
They do that?
Yeah, for the most part. They do get a little salty sometimes, but I'm like, look, I will pay extra. I don't mind.
Okay.
As long as they're how I want them.
Okay.
This is an example of why the line is so long, because people are listening to you, and this is why you can't get through McDonald's. Okay,
look,
back to drive.
You literally go out to eat food how you want and not have to do it yourself. If I can't get food how I want, I might as well just stay home and starve.
It's a good point. If you're paying, you might as well get what you want.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, man.
Hey, so speaking of Dad, have you seen how he celebrates on the line? It's pretty cool. He's going to knock someone out if he's not careful.
He's going to throw out a hip.
Jim out in Phoenix. He knocked his headset off, his sunglasses off. He just gets so excited. It's so cute.
So speaking of that, I mean, your family has history in drag racing, but your dad, he's gone down to Denver and pretty much done a burnout throughout the whole track. I mean, he's, World Series of Pro Mod and different things like that. So you guys rolling in there, do you feel some of that being at the starting line and seeing the starting line over, seeing, the things that your dad has done? Do you look at some of that and say, you know what, I've got big shoes to fill, or do you think you're creating your own path?
Probably a little bit of both. Obviously, I want to make him proud and all of that, but at the same token, I have to be my own person. Oops, low power mode. I have to be my own person and kind of create my own path in a way too. But he definitely has laid it, the path down for me, and I'm super appreciative, but I don't think I could ever beat his burnout. I think that's pretty hard to do.
She's letting Dad have an upper hand on her. And, with that, like you said, you're creating your own path in your way, and having someone, and I'm going to say it. I think NHRA Lee and I agree, kind of painted this picture between, you and Erica and things that happen at the top end. I know some of your backstory and whatnot. How do how does that all play into fact of having someone like her in your class, to look up to and compete against, and being another female in the sport?
I don't know. This might be an unpopular opinion, and that's fine, I suppose. But I really don't care that there's another girl. Like, I want to beat her just as much as I want to beat Greg Anderson. Yes, she's done amazing things for girls in the sport, and of course I want to achieve everything she's achieved and more. And she's definitely laid down an outline of what a successful female racer is. She's great, she's awesome, but at the same token, I don't care if it's her or Greg or Dallas or Derek Kramer. Like, I want to beat them all. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't really play into the whole, Camry versus Erica. It's not really, they want it to be something, but it's not. So.
There's a clip right there, Lee. I mean, I think we just clip that and post that. So everyone, because some people are going to miss that part of this interview, right? I think we clip that right there and post that so people can see it. And I thank you for saying it. We talked about emotion all week and last week, with what Steve's doing and everything else. That right there is exactly what we needed. It's to be uncut and raw. Like, you don't care. You're out here to be the best athlete that you can be and beat everyone. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done. I'm here to steal a win from you. So I appreciate that.
And I think people I don't really know the whole story of what happened with Steve. I've just heard bits and pieces. But, like, at the end of the day, we also have to remember that they are making it's on a TV thing. So obviously they're going to ask controversial questions. But at the end of the day, like, we're all there for the same purpose. We all want to win. We all want to have the championship. And we all want to be the best there is.
There you go. Wants to beat her fellow competitors no matter who they are, because they're ultimately a competitor. So, Camrie, from what I understand, the transition you made earlier this year, like, you are spending a whole lot more time in North Carolina, even made a move, if I remember correctly there. You're not just driving, you also are handling business side of things in the racing operation. So what has that been like, in having that role on your shoulders so far this year?
Honestly, I like it a lot, but there's a lot behind the scenes that people don't realize. Like, Jim and Miss Tony have helped me tremendously with it. There's things that I didn't even think of, to be honest. My dad's been a huge help, but Jim and Tony ran a very successful pro stock team for years, like over a decade, I believe. And to have them in my corner and teaching me along the way, even though I'm sure some days Jim wants to kill me and I want to kill him, but to have them in my corner helping me build a professional, successful team, it's been awesome. I've learned so much in the past 7 months, that it's been really cool.
And being, doing this, looking at it all, I mean, like you said, you're handling the business side, and then you're the racing side, and building transmissions in between rounds and fixing things. But also, I mean, I think it's a unanimous decision, and I think it's kind of given. Rookie of the year. Do you think about that at all? Is that something that's, on your mind, or?
Honestly, I would love to have Rookie of the Year. That would mean a lot, and it's a huge accomplishment, but I'm not focused on it because I need to focus on each race. And if we focus on each race on its own, then it's a lot easier to accomplish, and it will come. Like, that's what I've been told and taught. Like, obviously I want Rookie of the Year. Obviously I want the championship. Like, I want all of that. It's 100% true. But I need to focus on qualifying, then winning first round, second round, third round, and so on. So we'll see how it all pans out.
Well, if the fans want to show that they're a fan of Camry Caruso and go and buy some merch, a T-shirt at the track, where they go, Camry?
So the T-shirts and everything are at the Race Ugly trailer in the Midway at the track, and then I do have some of them on my website. I don't have everything on it yet. There's going to be more to come. There's a lot in the next coming months that is going to be happening. So for now, there's some on the website, and then there's at the Race Ugly trailer.
All right. Well, Sam, next time you're at the track, go buy Race Ugly. You need a T-shirt.
I don't have any of them at the trailer, by the way.
Yeah, Camry was supposed to send me a shirt like when she had the Disneyland shirts out, but I'm not cool enough for the Turtle Club, so I didn't get one.
Turtle?
So
I have the Disney one still, I think. No, I don't. Do I? Yeah, I do.
I still didn't get a shirt. Anyway, last question here for you, Camry. Vans or Chuck Taylors on race day or any day?
Vans.
Custom Vans or off the shelf?
Both.
Both.
I don't know. I don't have custom ones yet, but I do have a lot of off the shelf ones, and they're really cool. I got new ones in.
Slide it that way. Both of you on that side.
I think it was
We're gonna pick it up yourself. Slide it all the way.
black and red. They're really cute.
We got it.
They
There you
match.
go.
What matters, Sam. That's what matters. They're cute.
Yeah.
Well, Camry, look, thank you for your time tonight. We hope the Western Swing is a memorable time for you in your racing career, and maybe it will even hold that first very career win in NHRA Pro Stock for you. We'll definitely be watching along and looking forward to seeing how you perform.
And oh, go ahead.
Guys, I can't hear a question. Okay, go ahead. I couldn't
We were
focus.
we were just saying that we hope you get that first win. And since you do like French fries and chicken nuggets a lot, I think someone's gonna have to get them for you in the winner's circle so you can take your picture with a Wally eating a French fry.
Yes, thank you. I hope so. Hopefully we'll get the win in a few weeks at Denver, so we'll see.
All right. Well, Camry, look, thank you for your time. Have a good rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of testing, and may it be fruitful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
Man, talking about all those like McDonald's French fries and stuff. One, I think McDonald's needs to get on here as a sponsor and get on her card too. Or that In-N-Out idea that Alex Laughlin had a while ago. That one, man. But it's making me hungry, Lee. But before we get there, Lee, what do you think? I want to pose this question because I'm going to talk about it, I think, on the most controversial. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I think it's going to be just Racers Tell It As It Is. What do you think? I mean, if you're a drag racing fan right now, whether you like a person or not, if they are up for an award, and I'm talking to Steve Torrance right now, he's up for an award for an ESPN. Do you think if you're a drag racing fan, you still vote for him, whether you think he's a crybaby, he's, living off of his parents' money? What else did I see? That, he's got little man syndrome and all these other things that people are saying. Do you think that you still go and vote for him because you care for the sport and for the betterment of the sport?
It is strange to me how many people who say they are fans of drag racing seem to verbally erode drag racing itself, and by what they type and say, make themselves out to be actually haters of drag racing. Yes, I think you should support Steve Torrance up for an ESPY and that representation for NHRA drag racing, which in the world of motorsports, by the way, is so often it is portrayed as what they do is easy. They just go in a straight line. They're not really driving the cars that long, so on and so on, when in fact it is very challenging and it's on the edge of being out of control. I think, yes, whether you are a personal fan or not, support Steve Torrence. Now, beyond the sport of drag racing, and you mentioning this, and me being a fan of motorsports overall, I do think it's going to be very challenging for Steve Torrence to win that particular award, Driver of the Year, because he happens to be nominated in a year that also includes Kyle Larson. And short of drag racing itself, everything he stepped in, he won.
Man, I'm just gonna say it like this: if Steve wasn't in there, I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. The man can wheel probably a hot dog around the track if he really wanted to, if there was a way to do it. And, but I'm just saying. I think we have to support our racers. I think we have to support the community. And try and do what's for the betterment of the sport. I mean, I think we can talk about it, till we turn blue in the face, like I said earlier. I mean, people are going to like who they want to like and vote for what they want and believe whatever they want to believe about a person. But at the end of the day, that's a person. Emotions get hot. Things happen. Whether you like him because he's got money or you dislike him because he does, or whatever the situation may be, he's a person in your community, in your sport. And drag racing is so, like you said, we're so small, we're so micro in the sport of in the realm of motorsports. Guys, we got to stick together. Like, when something like this comes around, we have to stick together. So that's all I'm going to say, Lee, about that situation.
I do wonder if at times the infighting that can occur at times in drag racing, if it was not there, how much further it could go. And we are here, I think, particularly talking about NHRA drag racing. There are other segments of drag racing that are doing phenomenally well, but they don't have the reach and the height of what NHRA drag racing has at its Camping World Tour level. The fact of the matter is, there's a reason that individuals refer to a big show car as a big show car, and there's only one big show at the moment. And I really think if people would be behind it more often, we could move forward that much more. We have seen an uptick in ratings on being on the Fox broadcast, and they have tried to implement different camera angles and new things. And even though we might be talking about controversy, nothing wrong with that. With having that controversy, it keeps us talking about it. And people go to the water cooler at work and they're like, did you hear what that person said and what that person responded like? And people are like, what are you talking about? Oh, I might get interested in this. Or they're showing the video clip and things of that nature. Drag racing has got to find ways to be at the forefront.
And I think, with the drama, the controversy that we've had this year, I think, we've created movement. Whether it's the movement that we wanted, whether it's the correct way, I think we've started to turn the needle and get and gain fans. So I think in the way that we're doing it, yes, like I said, man, I'm sick of going on Facebook and seeing people literally belittle and berate these people. They're drivers. Like, even other racers are doing it to racers. Like, come on. But hey, the society we live in, everybody's got a keyboard and everybody's got their own opinion, and they can say what they want.
Even though some shouldn't. Sam, we've already had two guests on tonight, and we're going to begin wrapping the show up. To each and every one of you out there, thank you for watching along. It was great to have Josh Hart and Camry Caruso on tonight. Folks, remember, competitionplus.com. You need to be checking that place out on the web. A lot of great information there that keeps you up to date in the news of drag racing and opinion and stories, like we already mentioned here earlier. And Sam, I can tell you want to say something. Go ahead.
Lee, where else they can stay tuned to drag racing news? And if they don't want to read it, because a lot of people don't read nowadays, let's be honest. They can go to YouTube. And they can go to Competition Plus TV, and they can hit subscribe. And when they do that, they should also hit that little bell so they get notified every time a new video comes up, or like, tomorrow when they're driving down the road and they got their little cell phone thing, kind of holder thing like this, they can put it there and they can watch this back. Did you know that?
Yes, you definitely can do that. And not to mention a lot of great classic drag racing on Competition Plus TV, the YouTube channel. And Bobby Bennett has also got the new series going with the top 10, kind of that, NFL Films top 10 style, but drag racing with people like Brian Loans and Del Worsham and Antron Brown giving their reaction to several top 10 styles around the world of sport of drag racing. The first one was like the top 10, classic crashes, and I'm not sure what the next top 10 is going to be or if it's already out, but you need to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hey, Sam, by the way, I do want to plug Thursday night, 8 p.m. Between the Slicks on my channel, Monday Morning Racer, my show. I got Robert Height. He's going to be coming on. His first ever appearance on Between the Slicks.
Hey, Lee. So I used to have this show called In the Groove Podcast, and there's going to be an episode coming out. It may air tomorrow or it may air on Friday, depending on schedules for people. But it's going to be like, the Women Tell All of Bachelorette. This one's going to be Drivers Tell All, and it's just going to be raw and uncut. I'm going to let drivers come on and tell how they really feel, and there's no censor. So stay tuned to that. In the Groove Podcast, that's my show, Slam and Sam, the Monday Morning Racer, Lee, to Bobby Bennett, to you guys, the Competition Plus fans out there. Thank you for logging in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Do what you do. It's Tuesday night. It's the show. It's called The Power Hour. Bobby Bennett and the whole crew. I'm Sam and Sam. That's the Monday Morning Racer. Lee, love you, brother. Keep the pedal to the metal. God bless. Yeah. Peace.
Get your CompetitionPlus.com apparel today. Whether it's our nitro-burning funny car design or the vibrant door slammer design, we have the swag to show you are always in the know. Get yourself a hat too. And we know not everyone enjoys wearing a mask, but if you must wear one, at least wear a good-looking one. Check out the new CompetitionPlusApparel.com for the latest from the place where you have trusted for your news on the internet for over 2 decades.